As footage continues releasing, and astute internet sleuths continue analysing anomalies and inconsistencies.
So you stole his video, stole his title, and stole his script? This video's not off to a great start for you, is it?
Whoop whoop! It's the sound of the police. You have been apprehended.
Please subscribe.
Unbeknownst to most, for the past few years, portable panoramic 360-degree LED studio setups now exist and are being used for Hollywood productions like The Mandalorian and many others.
And I'll say the same to you as I said to Eric Douche Nozzle. So bloody what? Just because something exists, it doesn't mean it was used here.
Amazon Volume, or Amazon Studio 15 for example, are state-of-the-art studios which take the standard of green or blue screen technology and completely blow it out of the water.
I completely agree with you. This new LED technology is absolutely mind-blowing. But it's generally used to bring things which aren't real to reality. You know, for example, some of the planets that we get to see in The Mandalorian. They're not real. We didn't need to do that with Antarctica. It's just there. You can go. Honestly, people just did.
With new 360-degree panoramic LED screen studios, the entire background and ceiling or sky are digitally created in Unreal Engine, then projected in up to 16K resolution so the actors on set can see, react, and interact with everything in real time.
Then why is it that every single frame of footage that I've seen from Antarctica has shadows? Or the people cast shadows, the buildings cast shadows, even the camera tripods cast shadows. If they were surrounded by 360 degrees of LED screens, with more screens on the ceiling presumably to explain what you just said, then where were the shadows coming from?
Amazon sets comprise 3,000 seamlessly connected LED panels 80 feet in diameter and nearly 3 stories tall, enclosing 13,700 cubic feet of interactive space. Keeping all this in mind, let's review some footage from the final experiment. To begin with, watch the supposed sun circling around during their 24-hour time-lapse video and pay close attention to its shape.
Right, using my psychic abilities, he's about to say, notice how the sun switches from being round to a smooshed.
Notice how the sun changes from circular to being smooshed down horizontally, back to perfectly circular, then smooshed across vertically, and then back again.
Eric Dubé has already said it in his video!
This is not how the sun usually looks or behaves in person or in genuine footage of the phenomenon from the Arctic.
Then show us what you think it should look like. It's easy to say it shouldn't look the way it does, but you're not even trying to show us how it should look. And I learnt this morning because I watched Dave McKeegan's video, and apparently the reason that the sun gets smushed and then it's a circle is because it was filmed using a 360-degree camera, and there's a lens one side and another lens pointing the opposite way, and as the sun passes from one lens to the other, there's this weird distorted squished bit in the middle. Watch Dave McKeegan's video. He explains it much better than I do.
All right, Dave.
Oh, and flat earthers, just in case what I mentioned then confuses you, the reason I mentioned that I'd seen that in a Dave McKeegan video is to illustrate to you what it looks like when somebody learns something new.
Now pay attention to the changes in length and direction of Toon's shadow as he paces around the base camp. In the space of walking only a matter of feet, his shadow somehow completely changes direction and triples in length.
Length.
Swing, swing.
Now, I'm going to try and not give the exact same answer to that as I did when I responded to Eric Dubé's version of this video. In its simplest terms, because you sound like a pretty simple guy to me, as the sun is orbiting around above our heads, it's getting higher and lower and higher and lower. So the shadows are gonna be different lengths, aren't they?
Watch as his shadow stretches, contracts, and sharply changes angles within the space of just a few paces This is not at all normal behavior of shadows being cast by sunlight, or of a man walking only a few steps.
It was wrong when Eric Dubé said it, so what makes you think it's gonna be right when you say it, or the boring AI voice you chose? And something I know now which I didn't know when I responded to Eric Dubé on this very point is that if it was what you lot think and it was filmed in basically a gigantic LED dome, there wouldn't be any shadows at all.
Following is a simple demonstration of how light and shadows work depending on the distance of the light source. And now let's watch as MC Toon and Austin Whitsitt respond to commenters asking them to show their breath in the Antarctic as they blow hot air out their mouths. In freezing temperatures, there should be a cloudy mist that forms in front of their faces as the water vapor in their breath condenses instead.
Now what did I say to Eric Dubé when he said that exact same thing? It's dry there. I know that may be confusing to flat earthers because of all that snow and ice, but it's really, really dry in Antarctica. It's basically an icy desert. That's why you can't see their breath when they breathe out, because the air is too dry. You just said yourself that the moisture, well, if it's a dry environment, where's that moisture coming from?
However, every time they blow, not a trace of fog appears in Whitsitt's live stream. He claimed this was because the air here was allegedly too dry.
Neither of you know what you're talking about. You literally just gave us the reason why you can't see his breath, and then just added the word allegedly to the end of it. What do you think that does?
Someone then asks him to pick up some snow, which he initially refuses to do because his hands would be too cold, so he turns his camera off, walks into the shed to grab some gloves. Then he comes back in front of the camera and exhales 1.5 breaths.
Now, for the more observant among you, you may remember that when I answered that question in the first video I did, which is the same video, I said that I didn't think it was a vaporizer. I said that he had gone inside and he was in warm air, and then when he came out, I think that was how I explained it. But I have since found out that Mr. Whitsitt is a secret vapor. His wife doesn't know he vapes, so he was having a sly couple of puffs while he was off camera, and then obviously forgot and blew vapor out at the camera. Oh, allegedly.
Which now mysteriously do show vapor appearing in front of his face, only to abruptly stop.
Yeah, but all that really proves is something which we all already know. Whitsitt is a liar. So if he will lie about the shape of the earth, he will definitely lie about whether he does or doesn't vape.
Another camera recording from a different angle, however, caught Whitsitt while exiting the shed doing what appears to be hitting a vape pen just before turning his camera back on.
Well, there we go then. Mystery solved. Do you believe that there's no sort of visible breath in Antarctica now because the air's too dry? And the only one who was able to produce breath was the one who lied about how he did it.
For comparative purposes, here is what someone's breath looks like during winter in Maine.
Then it's not comparable, is it, you donkey?
Some of the snow that was all around him for some reason. Austin walks several feet away and picks up a bit of snow from over there.
Like I said to Eric Douche Nozzle when he got it wrong first, the snow Austin was standing on was very, very compacted. The snow he went to get wasn't. Again, Dave McKeegan covered this in his video from this morning, and he was there.
There then walks it back to the camera and lets it fall to the ground. If snow is everywhere, all around him, why did he have to walk way over there to get to some?
Do me a little favour, King Nico. Type in, what is the annual snowfall in Antarctica? The Antarctic only gets a few centimetres of snow every year in the interior. Compare that to Canada, well, they get 345 centimetres of snow annually, so...
Anytime close-up footage of their feet was shown, their footprints always failed to make any impression in the snow.
Yeah, and you were failing to make any impression with this video.
Joanne Whitsitt and others involved also made comments several times about how the mountains in the distance seemed so close that you could touch them but that they were actually several miles away. The mountains do seem strangely closer than they should appear.
I know this is probably like pissing into the wind, but show us how close they should look then. Then we'll shut up. Oh, and I've got to ask as well, because I forgot to ask Eric when he said the same stupid. What visual cues are you using to sort of judge how far away that mountain is? There aren't really that many things in that image that would help you to sort of... Can you see where I'm going with this? Everything's white. There's 17 polar bears stood behind Whitset, and as long as they don't blink or open their mouth, we're never going to see them.
And if you pay attention to where the background and foreground meet in footage from the final experiment, particularly the 24-hour sun time lapse, it seems we are seeing where the digital backdrop ends and the studio floor begins.
No, it isn't. All you're showing is somebody chroma keying the sky out, which is very easy to do, because blue is the other colour they use to chroma key things out.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
Well, this was a first. I've never covered exactly the same video from two different flat earthers in the history of my time on YouTube. And I just hope I was able to make it interesting enough to keep you here till now. And to let me know if you did stay till now, drop one of the globe emojis in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again on Monday. Take care, love you, bye. What the flat earthers have in common with atoms? They both make things up. Now, if you hadn't already gathered it, my jokes are terrible, but I'm a big child, what can I say? So how about some of you tell me your best jokes in the comment section, and then I'll start reading those out at the end of videos, and it can be like a feature, like jokes from the comments or something along those lines. If you're interested, do it now.